All right. So yesterday we talked about how we had two separate polynomials. They're multiplied together, but they equal 0, and therefore we can find out what each side equals. Today, we have to factor that first. Okay? We're given a trinomial, and we're going to have to factor it and find the two binomials. Okay? So this little vocabulary kind of explains it. X squared plus bx plus c, where when you factor it, you get x plus p times x plus q, where p plus q equals b, and p times q equals c. Now, I know it sounds kind of confusing when I say it in letters, but we're going to talk about it now with a specific example. Okay? We've got x squared plus 11x plus 18. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this up into two binomials, where when you multiply together, it gives you this. Okay, so first things first, we're always going to make two parentheses. Okay? For the whole time we're factoring. For today, this won't work for tomorrow, but for today, you're going to put an x in each one. Okay? Now, we need two numbers that when we multiply them together, we get 18. So I'm just going to list all the factors of 18. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6, 4 doesn't go in there, 5 doesn't go in there. We go back to 6, 3, 9, 2, 18. All right. So those are all the factors of 18. Which ones, when I add them together, give us 11? 9 and 2. Now, both my signs are positive. So both my signs on the inside are positive. So the first thing you do is make your parentheses, put your x's in. Then you list all the multiples, everything you multiply together, to give you 18. Then you pick the ones that when you add together give you that middle number, give you 11. Okay? Let's try another one just like this, but you guys try this one on your own. Okay, this is not on your paper, so you got to write this down. X squared plus 7x plus 12. What two numbers multiply to give you 12 that add together to give you 7? So first make your parentheses. Everybody can do that. Everybody can put x in each one. Then list everything you multiply together that will give you 12. Then the ones you're going to choose are the ones that when you add them together, it gives you 7. So the first thing I would think of is, what times 1 gives me 12? What times 2 gives me 12? What times 3? What times 4? Okay. So everybody has two parentheses that look like this, right? Everybody's got an x in each one. Then off to the side, you should have this list. 1 times 12 gives you 12. 2 times 6 gives you 12. 3 times 4 gives you 12. 4 times 3. 6 times 2. And 12 times 1. Which ones of those, when you add them together, give you 7? 4 and 3. My strong suggestion to you, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have your multiplication tables memorized, you need to get out a multiplication chart. You can't do it without it. Okay? So multiplication charts are right where Safari is reaching, above the paper, the second one right underneath the warm-ups, or it's in your agenda. Okay, so now we've done factoring where there's always two plus signs. That's the easiest way. Now we're going to try another one where we've got some negatives. Okay. So again, my first step, make the two parentheses, put an X in each one. What's my second step? List all the factors of 8. Good. 1 and 8, 2 and 4, 4 and 2, 8 and 1. Alright. Now here's the tough part. We've got a negative in front of that 6. What is that going to mean for us? There's a subtraction sign there. Alright. Well, so maybe I have to subtract them. 8 minus 1 doesn't give me 6. 4 minus 2 doesn't give me 6. Okay, that's not going to work. Now, I know a positive times a positive is a positive. Is there anything else times itself that gives me a positive? Negative. So both of these are going to have to be negative. Alright, so now which two negative numbers would add up to give me negative 6? 4 and 2. Okay, so I didn't do this before, so I'm going to do it now. How would I check this? Anybody got an idea? You would FOIL or do the box. I'm going to do the box right now. I've got x in negative 4, x in negative 2. X times x gives me x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8. Okay? And then I've got these two match, so I can add them together and they give me negative 6. See how I checked that part at the top? It gives me the same thing. So if you want to check, you do not have to, but that is how you check. Any questions about factoring so far? All right, let's try example 3. We've got x squared plus 2x minus 15. What's my first step? I want to do what? Make those parentheses. For today, since there's nothing in front of my x, I can put my two x's already there. All right, what's my second step? Everything that multiplies to give me 15. 1 and 15. 2 doesn't go in there. 3 and 5. 4 doesn't go in there. 5 and 3. 15 and 1. Okay. Which ones add up to give me 2? Of the factors that I have. None. So, one's going to have to be positive and one's going to have to be negative. So which ones subtract to give me 2? 5 and 3. So I can use 5 and 3. Now here's the tough part. Where do I put my positive or my negative? My answer is negative, so can they both be negative? No, if the number in front of your C, if the sign in front of your C is a negative, one has to be negative, one has to be positive. So which one goes where? You've got a positive 2. So which one would have to be positive, 5 or 3? 5. Okay, I'm going to FOIL this one to show you that it works. X times x gives me x squared. X times negative 3 gives me negative 3x. 5 times x gives me 5x. And 5 times negative 3 gives me negative 15. I add the 2 in the middle, and I get positive 2x. So it works. Okay, let's turn it over. This doesn't look like the right thing. What do I do? Subtract what? I'm going to get 0 on this side, and I get x squared plus 3x minus 18. I want you guys on your own to try to factor this. What two numbers multiply together to give you 18, negative 18, but add together to give you a positive 3. List all your factors, then pick the right one. Again, if you do not have your multiplication facts memorized, please make sure you get a multiplication chart or open your agenda. There's one in there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what numbers multiply to give us 18? 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6, then we can go backwards. 6 and 3, 9 and 2, 18 and 1. Okay. Which ones, when I add them together or subtract them, gives me 3? 6 and 3. Which one has to be positive? Which one has to be negative? 6 has to be positive. Alright, let's move on to our word problem. Okay. You are making banners to hang during School Spirit Week. Each banner requires a 16.5 square feet of felt and will be cut as shown. Find the width of one banner. Alright, so you have a picture on your paper that looks like this. Okay, how do you find the area of that rectangle? How do you find the area of a rectangle? Length times width. So we just have 4 times W. How about the bottom part, the triangle? How do you find the area of a triangle? 1/2 length times width. 1/2 W times W in this case. W. What's W times W? W squared. So 1/2 W squared. But these two go together, so what am I going to do to them? I'm going to add, right? 1/2 W squared plus 4W. And how much felt does each one require? 16.5, so we make it equal to 16.5. I am not going to have you factor this one. I'm just going to have you put it in standard form, which would mean subtracting 16.5 from each side. But we are going to look at this again tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to factor with numbers in front of our x squared or our w squared. That's when it gets not so fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take out our writing, please.